could you do this? He was actually like
Smug
one hit
was
away.
a hair's breadth away from upsetting in a reverse 3-0 Goblet. Take that to the bank. But let's get into it. We finally got this losers finals. This is this is losers finals. MVD put here by Ling now has to face off against another Peach.
So yeah, we saw the blueprint for success was made there in winners finals when MVD pushed Ling to the brink. But the problem really was it felt like in the clutch moments, Ling just had that last hit. So that's really, if you're MVD, you're just like, okay, yeah, sure, I had a little bit of struggles, but all I need to do is just execute.
That's very true, and MuteAce always going for some of the flashiest combos you can imagine. That fast fall up air is one way to extend your combos, but MVD still shutting up shop on ledge. And we got a C4 on that platform. Got to be careful here because MuteAce loves playing around those platforms, and if you take that one platform out of the potential for zoning options, it might limit MuteAce's options effectively.
Great movement right there by MuteAce, not committing to an option edge, instead reacting to the roll on, catching with the back air. That duck actually ducked under the back air, didn't it, Nerf?
Yeah, looked like it. The whole profiling is going to come back into play, but we actually get the iframes on that throw animation, enough to save yourself from the Nikito. Don't take that hit, and we still got something here. Back throw, now set up with the up smash.
We're going to toss out that side B. No, instead just waiting. Good patience right there from MuteAce, not trying to overcommit to any option, and I am stunned that that C4 did not hit.
I'm surprised too, but MuteAce has great micro spacing. I'm not surprised, and he has a great knowledge of all things set play. So
that kill.
Good stuff.
I'm stunned that actually all the way across the stage, the reverse hitbox of the Nair actually finished the stock. I mean, yeah, sure, Snake was at like 190 or so, but all right, I guess if it's fresh, that'll do.
Some of these extensions are insane. MuteAce able to get that Nair of all things. Still getting caught by that forward tilt. We talked about how good that option is in that last set with MVD, but now it's starting to pay off. A little footstool right in your face to try to see if MVD is paying attention.
That was a soft footstool too, so it didn't actually intercept with the shield whatsoever. Right. Trying to go ahead and get the empty hop, but instead MVD gonna blow that up. Solid damage right there, but MuteAce coming back in with a barrage of hitboxes to counter this just bunch of grenades. And MVD is pulling out all of a sudden.
Right, and MVD using things like the Cypher release right before he grabs ledge to try to force MuteAce into shield as he's setting up an edge guard. Right, you don't want to get hit by the Cypher because all of a sudden MVD could reverse that, but right now MuteAce has Saturn in hand. This is going to be very difficult for MVD if he's playing defensive.
I desperately want to see a shield break right here. Instead, Mr. Saturn turning on his master. MuteAce finding himself comboed by his own homie.
Oh yeah, I mean, Mr. Saturn swears no allegiances. He's like Switzerland.
Chaotic neutral. 100%.
Exactly.
Anybody can get these hits.
Exactly. Right now, we're going to have MVD with the proclivity to go for Saturn combos. Right now, MuteAce trying desperately to reclaim that option.
I am stunned that it's still here. Like, both of these players understand the power of this tool, and the item gameplay has been phenomenal from both of them so far, so not surprising to see that they're able to use their opponent's tools to great effect.
He's still on the other side of the stage, just hanging out. We all know he's coming back into play. Can we get something here? Obviously, off stage, he doesn't have that same pressure, but you never know. Any of those hit confirms could lead to something if MuteAce is right with his positioning.
It doesn't actually look like he had enough armor to break the Cypher.
Oh,
what?
My God!
Was that the turn up from the depths?
Okay, still looking for something. He tried to go for it. I respect it. He wanted it. I mean,
that's one of those like, am I gonna make it back? Am I gonna make it back?
But like,
maybe
hey,
you have to commit to
like,
it.
hey, come here a second. Come here a second. Ah!
We got something to talk about.
It's like, yeah. Come here. I want to show you something. Get him. Okay, cool. So we respect that. That's still gonna be a fair enough option in the depths. You gotta go for it, right? The Hail Mary.
Yeah, that's definitely such an awkward spot for Snake to find. Like, you're in the magnifier, you just suddenly see a turn up drifting down.
I know. And it was just like literally, like, I felt like it was a frame that he let go of the Cypher there.
Agreed.
And it was right there with the big hit. The kill screen I didn't expect, but geez.
Definitely a jump scare moment right there.
What a moment already in Losers Finals Game 1. We're getting into Game 2 already, and this has just been insane.
Okay, MuteAce had to stop the combo because in the middle of the Z-drop shenanigans, caught a grenade and dropped the turnip.
Oh yeah.
Awkward positioning is going to cost a ton of damage, but instead, Mute not at all phased, turning the combo right back off here.
All right, some of the two best representatives of their respective characters now duking it out here in a very crucial moment in Losers Finals. Let's see what happens. PS2 sticking with the same stage. We just want this long stage pressure. I like that there's a forward tilt one, and then back off.
Yeah, I don't know that Peach actually has an option that can reach Snake at that spot. I mentioned before that it's relatively punishable, but if you don't have a disjoint, then are you going to go for a dash grab? And good God, if you guess that wrong,
well,
you are toast.
It's also crucial which way you're facing, right? Because you can get a back air if your back's facing MVD, but he's not going to let that happen. He knows when he's able to do that safely, and he gets that anti-air with the up tilt very nicely spaced here on the platform.
And killing the sub 100 too. That is definitely going to be a big factor here. Like MVD definitely dies relatively quickly after that, but he was at 142. And before that, MuteAce was waiting to kill until like 180, 190.
And then you see MuteAce actually delaying in time for the grenade to hit MVD. He wants to use a long-lasting move like that down air on the shield to freeze MVD in place and make it so he has to take his own hit.
Use the forward air and then the
Great
grenade
tag.
Combo. Solid damage from MVD so far here, trying to go ahead and get this lead back in one simple string.
Still, I mean, it's 50% that he's trailing behind, and MuteAce starting to set up here a good mid-range pressure situation that he's able to set up with turnips, and we get around these grenades. So far, so good.
I mean, MuteAce, the difference between him and a lot of other players against Snake is that he's willing to stand at max distance and just shield the grenades. It feels like it doesn't feel like he absolutely needs to rush in, and because of that patience and that confidence to understand the spacing of those items, he's able to get so many good callouts.
And very nice stuff, knowing where MVD is like, okay, I gotta go for something here. C4, help me! Like in that moment, he's just following up right on you and gonna get that good pop-up off that explosion.
And then just the neutral air dodge, so not committing heavily with a directional air dodge, putting yourself in a ton of lag in response to that. Nikita, again, just very simple options here from MuteAce at max distance, and because he's not like flailing, MVD's struggling to land a strong hit.
Right, and now he doesn't want to mess around with the grenades on stage. He just takes to the skies, has turnip, or at least he had turnip. Now he's getting good juggle here. Can we get a follow-up? Oh, it actually forced the air dodge. No pivot grab.
Yeah, just a small mistake there in the tech club. Didn't get the turnaround. Because of that, it ends up costing the stock as MVD. The second that you get 2 feet on the ground, you know one them's coming up with that up tilt.
And right now, MuteAce still on that warpath. Got 100% and counting. We're looking for a high recovery. Again, it's these air dodges that we have yet to see punished hard by Mute, but they're coming out every time for MVD. How long will they continue to work? Good, Tomahawk.
Great MD hop right there, and now MVD air dodging back, but uses the grenade to force MuteAce away from edge, so we're only getting an edge trap, but the C4, a little bit of an overextension from MVD, and you give MuteAce a millimeter, and he's going to go ahead and take a mile.
Mute is just dancing around this side of the stage so effectively. MVD is just standing still, hoping that maybe Mute gets a little bit too close for comfort, but instead, he crucially makes a misstep, and Mute's right there with the fair, time and time again.
You saw the pain gasp on MVD's face as he took a moment. He's like, listen, I was committing to shield for so long, and you didn't swing a single time. I really thought you weren't going to at all.
Exactly. Sometimes just pressing no buttons is enough pressure to make your opponent do it to themselves.
I mean, we're on the HBox stream, so we're going to talk about the HBox bubble theory. It's one of those where you try to think about characters as if they have a bubble of hitboxes around them, which is the burst option that you can't react to.
Exactly.
And in Peach's case, all she has to do is float, and it causes awkward angles.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Snake has insane threat distance as well, right? But that usually comes at a cost, and that cost is longer startup. It takes longer to get that distance covered. MuteAce, with the drift, especially with the low floats, has been so keen with these micro-spacing moments that he's just been winning every interaction against MVD sometimes.
Side B actually trying to get a punish, it looked like was MVD, but unfortunately not going to work out. Instead, MuteAce pushing another advantage state, trying to get that C4 follow. The double C4, but the second one actually not connecting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was an air dodge that got MuteAce out in time or not, but either way, MVD going to have to take what he got and run with it. Let's see, it's an even enough situation right now, but as MuteAce hangs out above that big platform in the middle on Hollow Bastion, MVD has to wonder, like, this is his stage counterpick. How often can MuteAce benefit from his own counterpick?
Also, dog, this stage is evil. I'm colorblind. I could not see that C4 whatsoever. If I'm losing track of it right here, you got to worry if MuteAce is going to be able to catch it here, given the odd textures on that broad platform in the center or on the, at the edge of the screen.
MVD takes the first stock. That was a really good high recovery in place of like using Nikita as well, like just using that to fall with you, give you some coverage. So far, MVD pulling out everything in the kitchen sink against MuteAce, and it does pay off at full rage moment.
Trying to go ahead and again use that C4, but look at the spacing from Mute. Mute just understands the threat range of that. He kind of like baited MVD to blow it up a little bit early.
Okay, instantly crouching, trying to get off that platform. MVD still staying alive, and even though we have low blast zones on the ceiling, you are still avoiding some of these higher up kills for a moment.
196 finally. MVD stock vanishes, but now we got a Stitch face on deck right here, so we got to see what MuteAce can make out of this one. We could see a ton of damage, and I've seen Peaches get 0 deaths from that, but no, the RNG not favoring Mute.
Okay, and then it was really smart for MVD to use the grenades to try to cover all of the options for angles that MuteAce was looking for the throw. And MVD, if he knows what those angles are, he's able to cover it, do really well with these explosions. It seems like he's catching early stocks now.
We talked about potentially losing track of the C4. Finally, one stock going MVD's favor in that situation is Mute doing a little bit too much tap dancing around that threat zone.
Okay, and yeah, instantly runs right into a waiting cooked grenade. Perfect timing as MVD breaks and goes back to a defensive position.
Yeah, when Snake's underneath this platform, my man, Nerf, I have no idea what you do in that spot. It just feels like the defense is upgraded precipitously anytime he doesn't have to deal with those float approaches.
For sure. Good avoidance on that C4. MuteAce still keeping tabs on that. Okay.
Went for the grenade pull. I've seen MVD get like downers in that spot or even like forwarders to get a spike.
Oh, geez. Double parry for MVD. Still stuck off ledge. He does overtake. We get a good shield just in time.
But the problem is if that side B connects with shield, Peach gets blown back so far that it's really hard to punish it.
Oh.
So it's basically safety in those positions.
Yeah, for sure, but still not taking the hit. That's the big key here, as long as you avoid that. We got another Stitch face. It just seems like one thing after another. When it rains, it pours!
And that looked like it was an untechable. I didn't see the spark. Did
No,
you?
I saw blue. I feel like that might not have been.
Okay, so perhaps an errant error, an unforced missed tech situation may very well cost MVD here.
Nice!
Get the C4 track though, the dash
on the
away.
It was
Beautiful.
on the platform. Yeah, the cool guys don't look like explosions finish. Literally turn around there. But like, congratulations, you're going to get up attack into your doom.
Yeah, where? There. All right, so now drawing a game was MVD, and honestly, that stage looked like that was a huge counter.
Definitely. I mean, it felt like he was dancing all around Mute, which is normally a reverse of what Mute had been doing up until that moment. His microspacing, we talked about it, his movement has been on point, been bobbing, weaving in and out, so elusive. Yet, Snake still doesn't care because those blast zones, those blast radiuses of these grenades, these explosions, they just catch you.
Yep. And also, like, this is one of those weird things about the game that folks may not know, but the threat zone of the grenades is actually smaller for Snake than it is for the opponent.
Right.
So Snake can actually, like, not have to worry about those explosives.
If he spaces it right, yeah, he can hit you while not himself. In these situations where theoretically he should be hit. But we've got the tense music starting to play here as MuteAce takes a set point.
And now on to Battlefield. This is definitely a stage that a lot of Peach mains absolutely love. Would not be surprised to see MuteAce cause some extra platform pressure here.
Oh wait, I'm messing up. The scoreboard, it looks like it's a little off. I think MVD because he MVD took the last game. We're good. 2-1. So 2-1. Now we got a potential reverse 3-0 at least for MVD, right?
I mean, we've seen a couple of those today. It seems like that's like on the script for sure. It's like we need to get as many reverse 3-0s as possible.
Oh, okay. Yep. Very smart to avoid that. Don't get up into the down smash. MVD have been going for that a lot in the earlier parts of top 8. We haven't seen it much since then, but now it's starting to come back into play.
And then parry onto the down tilt, the max burst range on Snake's side here. I'm digging the fact that MVD's spacing has been so difficult for Mute to punish.
Okay, this is tough. MVD showing why he was able to take that last game. Getting an up tilt yet again, and MuteAce, even though MVD is at lower percents, can still be very, very close to getting these great combos.
Grenade on deck there, trying to go ahead and shark with that up air. Not going to work out too well, but that is an odd air dodge off flat.
For sure. And then the delay, actually, MVD kind of pulling grenade, not really sure what to do out of getting hit by that back hit of Nair. MuteAce is able to take it in the scramble, more hits.
Pacing the wrong way in the jab, so an awkward spot for MVD. Now into an edge guard situation. Great air dodge, though, getting him back. But can't get back to center stage as MuteAce just turning up the pressure, trying to go ahead and apply as much as possible in a spot where you know if MVD gets underneath that platform, if he's able to just set up a C4, this match gets so much harder.
And those air dodges had actually been punished by Mute in the first part of the set. That's why he was able to win those first 2 games. Now that MVD is getting away with those air dodges that were getting him punished earlier, I wonder what else has changed.
This is just so difficult. It feels like when MVD's on that flat, you'll apply some like free shield pressure, but you're unable so far to actually lower MVD's shield in a point where he has to be worried about a poke.
Oh, exactly. And getting stuck on the platform there as MVD crawls backwards towards you. There's a litany of things he can do here. We get that nice catch with the air dodge and just enough space to get back to ledge as well. Forces the high recovery, and now MVD is able to completely reset. Go to the other side, avoid these turnips. Now we take stage control.
Good parry, but can't quite get the up tilt to finish stock afterwards. And this is almost a full stock lead here. We are 100% in a spot where Snake has a ton of kill options with Rage. 205, and MuteAce still unable to land a kill.
Okay.
Does get the up B as soon as I say it. Mute goes ahead and has to prove me wrong.
That was smart for MuteAce. He probably heard the visual, the audio cue, I would imagine, of listening to that Nikita come out and expected that he was able to get that nice coverage with the up special. So get more turnip stuff. A good reset with the grab. How much are we taking here?
Not enough, unfortunately.
Definitely
in this spot, anytime you're just like, okay, I went ahead and got a decent string, but look at the grenades here. 54% from a couple trades here. If I'm MVD and I got this lead, I'm taking that to the bank.
Oh, geez. We take the hit on the grenade, but it doesn't matter. You get the fair, get him off stage, and now forced to the highest part of this stage. Can we get something?
I mean, up tilt might kill him like 5 more % at this perspective.
For sure, for sure. Okay, throwing out the turnip as well, right at the grenade too, just for a double hit.
Good parry from MVD, not necessarily feeling the need to rush forward in these spots. We have seen a lot of self-harm here from these grenades. It feels like at some point here, that might actually clear the stock early on.
Oh, using his own tools against him, the Z-drop on the grenade, and then he up-tilts it. Perfect bait here from Mute.
Dodging back to stage as MVD, though, has full stage control, trying to go ahead and get pressure, but that Nikita, really aggressive option, trying to call out MuteAce either like a standard get up, but instead, Mute has momentum now and solid damage, too, on MVD.
Right, and we're starting to get past the percents where MVD can actually quickly pull that grenade. You're going to be able to get some bigger and bigger hits here from MuteAce. You've got to make sure that your mid-percent combos are as clean as your early percents.
I'm liking the float, actually. We're seeing a lot more verticality all of a sudden out of MuteAce. Basically just saying, like, if you're going to go and try to set up 2 grenades, I'm going to wait until one of them is about to explode and set your trap up. But the Nikita will cover the standard get-up. We've seen that one quite a bit. Snake's best friend at ledge.
And yet again, Skaz, we find ourselves in a Game 5 situation. Another cusp of a reverse 3-0 at that.
I mean, there's got to be something in the water here in North Carolina, my man. It feels like every single competitor has been evenly matched all day. You never know who's going to end up on top in any of these sets.
This has been the state of shifting tides here in top 8 and continue to be so. MuteAce, as he starts to trail all of those great things that have been working in the first part of the set, not helping him in these latter parts of it. MVD gears up for a potential finish.
I mean, this definitely feels like a matchup where we just hate this one.
Yeah.
I mean, not the best aerial mobility.
Who
Nikita
likes
is
fighting
terrifying.
Snake? Who really likes
Grenades.
what combo character really likes fighting Snake?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, hard to say. Right now, might have been the wrong stage counter pick. We are going to go...
Yeah, pick WarioWare,
Smashville.
please.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Deal?
Smashville.
Gentlemen?
Okay, this is interesting. Small stage. We're going with it. The Peach...
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a spot where the Peach can't play defensively.
Right.
So, yes, it's going to basically prevent MuteAce from like setting back and max distance and pulling turnips, but also it is going to mess with a couple of these setups on the MVD side. You're no longer going to be able to get 2 grenades off. You might just have to do 1 Z-drop and then react to what MuteAce is doing immediately.
That is true, but that offers, I think, a little bit more longevity, I think, for MVD as this game goes on. We might see an incredibly patient neutral, or we might just see these two swinging at each other very fervently. So far, that has been the case for MuteAce. His aggression is unmatched.
and already got the C4 on that platform too. That can cover so much space passively. You just toss it out and dare your opponent to play around that.
Interesting, went high. Looked like he went for another one, but it was the Nair. Too high to catch MVD. A well-timed air dodge this time, winning him out in that reset. But he's taken 100% plus. I mean, this is a good combo from Mute, and we were actually able to extend it. Now, we don't have stage control, but we do have the pressure.
128% too, so 100% lead for MuteAce, and we're not seeing any kind of like errant options on that side. Peach is basically saying, I'm going to go ahead and play at your tempo. You want to go slow? That's perfectly fine. I will pick my spots, and I will use that platform to reset my jump and choose high angles.
Okay, and we're going for another high recovery. Force the air dodge, or at least we try to, but MVD holds on to that resource with a death grip and is able to avoid up until he gets a little greedy. Every time he goes for one of those dash attacks, I just feel like MuteAce is going to get tired of it eventually and look for harder and harder punishes on it.
It feels like that move is one of those where, yeah, it's an incredibly high reward if you manage to hit it, but good God, it feels like you just had it scattered out time and time again so far.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you can actually, if you start it close enough to the opponent, you can pass through it and still, you can pass through shield and still be relatively safe. But again, God forbid, you hit it with the wrong spacing on shield, someone's going to get you for that one.
Good string right there on Mute's side so far, untouched on the second stock, and this is starting to look a little bit dire from MVD. We just really haven't seen the camp game get started whatsoever. It just never feels like Snake is set on this stage. It's always just on the back foot. Stitch space is there. Is that going to take the stock? No.
It seems to be the ever-present factor. We've got it back in hand as well. Tries to throw it, but it falls short, and yep, MuteAce still manages to claim that stock. So
yeah, it's like death, taxes, and MuteAce's turnip pulls. You can count on those every single time to bail you out of a good spot.
I can't even say that it's just MuteAce because Ling's been getting similar luck tonight as well. But right now, it's a Game 5 situation. This is when you need those tools to come in clutch for you as you look to end MVD's last stock and last chance in this bracket.
The grenade tosses again. Arcing actually is MVD. Basically trying to call out any kind of a full hot float. Not working out so far though. Can't get the grab either, but solid conversion off of the grenade pull. This is a spot where Uptilt will certainly clear off this stock, but MVD doesn't look like he wants to press. It looks like he wants to use these explosives to clear these stocks off easily, and just barely missing with the back air is Mute.
I mean, Mute is reading what MVD wants. He's just not finding the execution. It's a missed through an air dodge, or it's the shielding out of that. Another
Stitch?
Are you joking? What is going on here? This whole system has been thrown into disarray. We've got the up tilt 174. Can MVD control this before it becomes unwinnable?
I mean, full rage Snake is nothing to count out in these situations. Plus, look at the minefield that MuteAce has to navigate just to land a single hit.
Yeah, as soon as you see that. But again, what did I say? Dash attack on shield. Not going to help you grab the turnip, but at what cost? Can you get back the high recovery? You have to avoid that turnip.
Oh, gets the neutral air out of disadvantage, and MuteAce in a nail biter. MVD very nearly clawed his way back in that Game 5 situation.
A clean hit from Mute is going to decide it all. MVD tried his hardest in that last situation to try to bring it back, try to throw out those explosions and hope that anything you throw at the wall is going to stick. But unfortunately, we got the whole power washer that was MuteAce just spraying, hosing it all down and saying, get out of here. It's clean.
I mean, those turnips too. The wisdom to back off and pull a turnip, to use that as an option to just eliminate a few of those grenades and give yourself some ground to work with. I mean, if I'm in MuteAce's shoes right there, I'm running at the Snake. It's like, you're at 190, I need to kill you immediately. You're in such a pressure situation that you cannot allow that man to claw back, but not pressing at all was Mute. Still calm, still staying cool, and staying in the bracket.
Exactly. And staying alive for right now means that he's got to
the run
got
back.
to pay the piper.
The run back. We saw this as the first big upset on stream.
What did you learn? I hope you've been labbing DDD, my friend, because I don't expect that we're going to get anything else other than DDD.